Layla never imagined that a lazy weekend shopping trip would turn into the night she clung to her cat like a lifeline while the world shook around her. The mall was buzzing, but in a comforting way. Soft music, distant chatter, the faint smell of popcorn from the cinema upstairs. Layla adjusted the strap of her bag and looked down at the cat carrier in her hand, where Milo's golden eyes stared back at her through the mesh. I know, she whispered. Pet clinic first, then we'll buy your favorite treats, okay? Milo flicked his tail, ears twitching in all directions, as if he was listening to something Layla couldn't hear. They crossed the shiny floor toward the elevator. Children laughed near the toy store. A couple argued softly at the coffee shop. A group of teenagers took selfies near a big decorative fountain. Everything felt normal. Just when she thought everything was normal, Milo's body suddenly went rigid. He pressed himself into the corner of the carrier, ears flat, pupils wide. Milo? Hey, what's wrong? Layla frowned, kneeling to look closer. Milo let out a low, warning meow, nothing like his usual soft sounds. It was sharp, urgent. She straightened up and glanced around. It's just the mall. You're safe, silly boy. But then something strange happened. The tiniest shiver passed through the floor, like someone had just kicked the towels from underneath. Layla's foot wobbled. She grabbed a nearby rail. Did the floor just move? She muttered, more to herself than anyone else. Milo yowled again, louder this time, clawing at the carrier's zipper from inside. A nearby shop worker looked up from folding clothes. You felt that too? He asked, eyes narrowing. Maybe it was just construction, Layla answered, but her voice sounded unsure, thinner than usual. In that moment, the ground shook beneath her feet. It wasn't gentle this time. The towels shuddered, the glass shop fronts rattled with a horrible chorus of clinks and vibrations. A distant metal groan echoed through the mall like the building itself was crying out. Milo shrieked inside the carrier, a terrified primal sound. Layla, move away from the glass, someone shouted. An alarm blared to life overhead, followed by a panicked announcement that broke halfway through with static. Attention shoppers, please. Then silence. Then another tremor. What's happening? Layla whispered. A brief pause like the world inhaled, and then the earthquake truly began. The floor rolled under her like waves. Store displays toppled, a tower of shoeboxes crashed to the ground. Hanging lights swung wildly, some breaking and showering glass below. People screamed, the sound rising like a storm. Milo thrashed violently in the carrier, the rocking in Layla's hand. Hold on, Milo, she gasped, staggering to keep her balance. A ceiling panel snapped free and crashed down just a few meters away, scattering dust and chunks of plaster. Everyone stay calm, a security guard yelled, but his voice shook, his own fear leaking through. Layla's heart pounded so hard it hurt. We have to get out, now, she shouted to no one in particular, her words swallowed by the chaos. She turned toward the nearest exit sign, glowing green at the end of a long corridor of shops. But the moment she took a step, Milo did something he had never done before. He attacked the zipper from inside so fiercely that it burst open. Milo, Layla cried. The cat lunged out onto the shaking floor, landing low, claws out for grip. Instead of bolting away in fear, Milo whipped his head back to look at her, eyes blazing with an intensity that made her freeze. Then he darted, not toward the wide, open corridor and its glowing exit sign, but to the side, toward a smaller passage between two stores, half hidden by a fallen advertisement board. Milo, no! Come back! Layla yelled, stumbling after him. She almost followed the crowd instead, who were surging toward the obvious exits. But Milo stopped halfway, turned and meowed sharply at her. Short, demanding. "What are you doing?" she whispered, trembling. "Why there?" Another powerful jolt hit. The glass windows along the main corridor exploded outward, shards flying. People screamed as they ducked and fell. A heavy metal sign broke free from its bracket and crashed exactly where Layla would have been if she had followed the crowd. Her eyes widened. She looked from the shattered chaos of the main walkway to Milo, standing in that narrow, ugly, unimportant side passage, still staring at her, tail flicking as if he'd made a decision for both of them. She ran toward him. The floor rolled again, and Layla fell to her knees, her palms scraping on the rough tile. She hissed in pain. "Ow!" Milo rushed back toward her, brushing against her leg with his body, nudging her like he did when she was late to fill his food bowl. But this time the push was urgent, insistent. "Move." I'm coming," she said, voice shaking. They ducked into the narrow passage between two shuttered stores. Just a dull service corridor with concrete walls and a low ceiling. It felt tighter, smaller, but safer somehow. Behind them, in the bright main area, more ceiling pieces crashed down. A hanging decoration, an enormous metal ring with lights, snapped free and slammed into the floor where children had been playing only moments before. Layla pressed her back to the wall, breathing hard. Milo paced in front of her, ears flicking, eyes constantly scanning as if he could feel each subtle change in the shaking that humans couldn't. "Is it going to stop?" she whispered. Another strong jolt answered. Dust drifted from the ceiling. Somewhere someone cried out in pain. The mall's alarm shrieked nonstop, then cut out, leaving only the rumble of the quake and the sound of things falling, breaking, shifting. Layla slid down to a crouch, pulling Milo into her arms this time. He didn't resist. He pressed against her chest, purring shakily, more like a stressed vibration than a true purr. Hey, it's okay," she whispered into his fur, even though she didn't believe it. Her hands shook so badly that she had to clench her fingers in his fur to steady them. "I'm scared, Milo." He pressed his head under her chin. The building groaned again. But then, something strange happened. The power flickered and went out. The mall plunged into semi-darkness, lit only by emergency lights that glowed red and pale along the floor. Shadows stretched long and strange over the walls. From somewhere in the distance, a child screamed for their mother. Another voice shouted, "This way! Emergency exit here!" Layla knew she should move, but her legs felt like they were made of stone. She squeezed her eyes shut. "Why can't I move?" she whispered into his fur. Milo wriggled free from her arms, dropping to the floor. Before she could grab him again, he darted a little ahead, then turned and looked at her, tail swishing. He gave a short, sharp meow and started walking slowly down the service corridor, looking back every few steps to check if she followed. "You want me to come?" she asked, voice barely above a whisper. He meowed again. She took a shaky breath. Okay, hero. I'm coming." They moved together, Milo leading, Layla stumbling behind, one hand on the wall to stay balanced as aftershocks rippled underfoot. The corridor twisted left, then right. At one point, debris blocked half the way, a broken storage shelf and boxes thrown into our path. Layla hesitated. "I can't fit through this." Milo slipped through a gap and sat on the other side, staring at her calmly as if to say, "Yes, you can." She squeezed sideways, scraping her shoulder, heart racing when the shelves creaked above her. She made it through and practically fell into the clear space beyond. Milo brushed against her leg, then moved on. Just when she thought everything was normal again, another violent aftershock slammed through the building, stronger than the last. The corridor shook so hard that Layla was thrown against the wall. A pipe above them burst, spraying dust in a bit of water. She dropped to the floor and curled instinctively, hands over her head. "Make it stop!" she choked. Milo pressed himself against her side, not running, not hiding, staying right there with her in the tremor's roar. A gentle one-word question slipped into her mind, like a lifeline. "What sound does a cat make?" One word. She thought it, desperate for a distraction. And in her arms, Milo answered with a shaky, determined meow. Despite everything, a tiny laugh slipped from her lips. "Yeah, meow. You're right here. I'm not alone." The shaking slowly eased. Silence wasn't silent anymore. There were distant cries, echoes, the groan of metal, the hiss of broken pipes, the faint whir of emergency systems trying to stay alive. Milo moved again, heading toward a dim red glow at the end of the corridor. Layla pushed herself up. "Is that the exit?" she murmured. As they got closer, she saw it. A heavy emergency door half open, daylight slicing through the gap like a blessing. Dust floated in the beam, turning the air golden. But the door was jammed, wedged crooked in its frame. Layla grabbed the handle and pulled. It didn't move. She shoved her shoulder into it. It groaned but refused to open. Come on, she grunted. "We're so close." Milo jumped up onto a nearby crate to get out of the way, watching her intently. "Help me out, universe," she muttered, pushing again with all her strength. Her muscles screamed, sweat slid down her back. The metal scraped with a horrible screech as it shifted a fraction of an inch. In that moment, the ground shook beneath her feet again, but softer this time, like an aftershock clearing its throat. Layla lost her balance and fell forward, shoulder slamming into the door with all her weight. The door burst open. Cool, dusty air rushed over her. Outside, chaos. People gathered in the open parking lot, some crying, some hugging, others on their phones. Sirens wailed in the distance. Layla knew she should move, but her legs felt like they were made of stone. She stumbled through the doorway, turning back immediately. "Milo!" He sprang off the crate and trotted straight to her, tail high, as if he had been planning this dramatic exit all along. She scooped him into her arms, clutching him so tightly that she could feel his rapid heartbeat against her chest. "What color is the sky?" One word. She whispered, staring up at the trembling blue above the dust. "Blue," she answered herself, softly. "We made it to the blue." A paramedic rushed over. "Ma'am, are you injured?" "No," Layla said, though her voice shook. "Just shaken." She looked down at Milo. "He saved me." The paramedic smiled faintly. "Smart cat." Layla sank to the curb, still holding Milo. He finally relaxed, his body going soft against her. His purr was more steady now, a low, comforting rumble that drowned out the distant sirens and sobs. "Hey, Milo," she whispered. "When you're scared, what's the first word you say?" One word. She paused, then answered herself with a wet laugh. "Please, that's the word. Please let us live. Please keep us safe." Milo nudged her chin with his head. Tears spilled over her lashes at last. She let them fall, not bothering to wipe them away. "I almost followed the crowd," she said quietly to him. "If I had gone that way, that sign, that glass, I don't know if I'd still be here." She pulled him even closer. You knew. Somehow you knew." Milo's eyes drifted half-closed, content now, his job done. What happened next left her breathless, but in a different way. A small girl walked past, clutching a teddy bear, her mother's hand gripping hers. She stopped and pointed at Milo. "Look, Mama, the kitty saved her," she said softly. Layla met the child's eyes and nodded. Yes, he did. For the rest of the day, she stayed with the other survivors, giving statements, accepting a blanket, sipping water from a paper cup with shaking hands. But no matter what anyone asked, her story ended the same way. "My cat saved my life." As the sun began to lower, painting the sky in orange and pink over the damaged mall, Layla held Milo against her chest and whispered, "You're not just my pet, Milo. You're my guardian, my hero." He answered with one soft, steady meow. She smiled through the lingering fear. "If this story moved you," she murmured, imagining the world hearing what Milo did, comment your one-word reaction, like the video, and subscribe for more heroic cat tales.